Hey everyone, this is Walter, and we're back here with another continuation of a series I was working on recently. Lucas Werner is a man who is well known around Spokane, Washington. He does crazy things like leaving notes for young baristas, and putting up attraction signs with little pictures of sperm on them. Not sure which is worse for attracting women, that or sonotube drawings. Anyway, he's in his early 40s now, but today we'll be continuing to read his writings from when he was about my current age, to see if I can relate. Let's get started with Conversationrage, the writing of Lucas Werner. This can all be found at virtualwern.com, which isn't Lucas's site, it's maintained by YouTuber Wernology. There is no arguing that diversity is both better for the human genome and culture than stasis. What is really missing from the osmosis is the differing influx of variable age groups, as in other living ecosystems. Society is in need of Fibonacci steps in order to complete the music of our daily public congress. It is plain to see how it is that the human civil discursion has acquiesced in terms of racial, sexual, cultural, and gender interchange. Why exactly did he use the word osmosis there? He's like, oh, I'm talking biology, so I better throw biology words into random places. The young craft for the guidance of older, wiser people, and older people require the energizing fortifications of Parliament with fresh young human assailants. Our world is suffering from a division among ageal anisotropies. In the yield of justifiable mean, there is an obvious gap of wealth in which the redistributive tendency of our times must foremost entangle to an intergenerational sharing of the entirety of life's rich experience. The story can only be completed by you if you're the woman I feel I need. I also have a graphic design. Click the red A below the video in order to make first contact with me, ladies. I will not tolerate disrespectful discourse. I will field questions to the best of my ability. Click the numbered sequence picture below for examples of the Fibonacci sequence in nature. Evolution as a reason for variable diversification. Everything else is false advertising. Beware the profit motive of manufactured warfare in order to enslave your minds to sociopathy by the pumping of a hateful agenda. Fans only. Kick the haters out. 70 years of you can't trust anyone over 30 has created a political system that only cares about money. The hipsters became the hippies. The hippies became the yuppies. Intragenerational breeding has created an oligarchic system that owns both political parties and only cares about the billionaire class. It's very rare that I have to look up an English word, but that's what happens when Lucas is trying to sound smart. Okay, so he's trying to sell himself a bit more overtly in this next one. Potential bays, wifey, and fam. Millennials who only date millennials. It's time to wake up. You're bigots. You're Democrats. You can't be both a bigot and a Democrat. Millennial chicks. You're being bigots against dating me because I'm an older man. You can't worship money when you're a 2016 liberal. Most of you are liberals. Oh, millennial chicks. You're being hypocrites. You need to wake up and date me. I'm tired of your hate. Young women produce progesterone. Progesterone means fertility and better sex. Millennial dudes. You're being greedy. Those are our women. Men over 35 produce more telomerase in our semen. Telomerase means longer living children and better sex. Oh, millennials, time to wake up. I especially like his assertion that you can't be both a bigot and a Democrat. Like what? And how do you say you're being greedy, those are our women, and not feel like a hypocrite? I have $1,400 in savings. Date me. There are a lot of restaurants in town. I like all kinds of food. Let's meet for lunch. I will let you live for me for free when I get an apartment in Spokane, Washington, if you're my girlfriend. I'm looking for someone under 26 because they're the most fertile, have the most progesterone, and progesterone makes men feel manly. Younger women produce more progesterone. Progesterone causes testosterone levels to increase. Younger women help older men keep it up and boost the immune system of other living beings. It would also perhaps be beneficial to discuss the age of consent for Washington State, as younger women produce a chemical in their bodies that makes men live longer, as men over 35 produce a chemical in their semen that makes women live longer, and the combination makes two people fall in love. Make the strongest babies, and bigots are Republicans. This is a blue state. Bigots are not welcome here. It's not spelled socialism with a $sign. Republicans are lying sacks of shit. Your conservative attitudes have to change. Young progesterone means more progesterone, with old telomerase in semen creates the strongest DNA in a baby. The age gap is the best sex. We have to be progressive. This is as legal as drinking. Grow up. Progress. I have reasons for loving young women. Men and women both produce telomerase. In overabundance, the chemical is a carcinogen that also causes depression and stress. This is why age gap relationships work. People over 35 have depleting levels of the youth-enhancing chemical. People under 35 have rising levels. The older person leads to less cancer, depression, and stress. The younger person gives the older person a stronger immune system with the addition of telomerase by bodily and airborne contact. Men over 35 have higher telomerase in sperm, leading to stronger DNA in babies and youth-enhancing sex. I get the feeling that even if being around Lucas Werner did magically make women younger, they'd still avoid him like the plague. Look at how much he lost it last time a young woman gave him a hug. Women under 26 have higher levels of progesterone, making for a safer womb for the child, stronger DNA babies, and a high level of sexual arousal. As levels of telomerase fall, partners begin the aging process together. Females begin losing progesterone after 26, and males and females both start losing telomerase after 35, with rising levels in sperm after 35, and the couple becomes symbiotic. Chemically speaking, this is a dance between emptiness and fullness, give and take, and an equalization of balance. When two people are in a relationship together under the age of 35, more telomerase is produced. Too much telomerase leads to cancer, depression, and stress. Now, if one of the partners is over 35, they've begun the aging process. The older person is less cancerous, depressive, and stress-inducing to the younger person in the relationship. Too much telomerase has been linked to cancer, depression, and stress in the human body. The younger person with more telomerase boosts the older person's immune system with the rejuvenating telomerase. Telomerase increases in semen after the age of 35, which gives kids with men over 35 stronger DNA, with the added benefit of rejuvenating semen for the sex partner. I'm a 36-year-old male. I've dated older women and women my age. I've never dated younger women. They all started dating older men after me. My mom has been married to my 10 years older stepdad for 30 years. My dad has been married to my younger by 8 years stepmom for 29 years. I need to date younger women. Younger women need to date me. Say telomerase one more goddamn time. Well, I guess I knew what I was getting into. For hundreds of years, people have been trying to find the legendary fountain of youth, which was supposed to give aging people the ability to age backwards. Recently, modern scientists have discovered a special protein to do just that. People age because cells have a biological restriction on how many times they can divide. This is called the Hayflick limit. In order to break the Hayflick limit, telomerase renews the protective DNA at the ends of the chromosomes, so that the cell can continue dividing. However, the issue with this is that telomerase activity can also cause an increase in cancer. Incest causes short telomeres in babies. Short telomeres mean genetic abnormalities. Having sex with males under the age of 35 could lead to short telomeres in babies. Incest is illegal. It seems to be if you want babies with weaker DNA, like with incest, and semen that doesn't make you live longer, have sex with males under the age of 35. We ought to make it illegal to have sex with males under the age of 35. There's no reason whatsoever to date men under the age of 35. Too much telomerase causes cancer. Bodily, people under 35 have much telomerase, except in the sperm. Two people under 35 in a relationship elevates the risk of getting cancer, and a group of people under 35 together is a rising plume of carcinogenic death. Yeah, so if you have a friend group around your own age, like most people do, simply being around them is increasing your risk of depression, stress, and cancer. So I guess all your friends have to be much older than you too. Progesterone abundance isn't known to be medically destructive upon the human body. More young females in a room is much less destructive than more males, due to high levels of progesterone being more beneficial to the human body than high levels of telomerase. Large congregations of males under 35 in an area is worse for the biochemistry of living beings than repeated huffings of gasoline with a dry shop rag. All one has to do is note both the violence and attitude towards minority groups and women to know young males are problematic. Women under 26 around my person are at the very least younger than men with telomeric sperm. Male human beings 35 years older and above is a garden of absolute beautifying delight. Males under the age of 35 elevate the risks as a woman getting cancer, depression, and stress from 25% more open points of infection on the female XX chromosome pair, as the telomerase evaporates off their sweat, and if you have children with them, they're less healthy and die sooner. The only reason to date men under 35 is if you have a death wish and want your babies to become short telomered, like with incest, leading to obvious lapse facilities of physical and mental retardation. I've lost 170 pounds. Stamina isn't a problem. I walk 3 miles a day and clearly have a lot of energy. Yeah, this part didn't age very well. Lucas has been uploading again recently, and he no longer has a lot of energy. He looks like shit. He can barely open his eyes sometimes. This isn't just about sex or trying something new. Stop being bigots. Chemically, I'm at a spermatozoically high point for having offspring and age gap relationships, with older men past the age of 35 with younger women by almost a decade, or even more, seems to be something that would suit me statistically. As this pattern has also shown to be successful for my mom and stepmom for 30-year marriages each to my respective stepdad and dad, their financial statuses having gone up quite a bit over 3 decades, and they're 4 people who are still in love with their significant other after 3 decades. It can only be surmised that my folks are smart people who have been on this earth longer than I have been here, and in my near 37 years of life. I've learned from observation that the people who brought me into the world and raised myself, as well as 2 brothers and 2 stepsisters, 5 grandkids, and 3 great-grandkids, on mom and stepdad's side, that Roy, Becky, Myrna, and Larry know a mass accumulated thing or two about family. The Fibonacci sequence is the pattern of nature, and it prefers age difference love, because the universe is a space relationship. Some of you people are clearly unnatural, like racism and other sordid incestuousness. The Fibonacci sequence is the pattern of the universe, and it's a series of numbers and gaps. Boom! I've dated 4 older women, and 4 my age, up to 18 years older, one of whom was 10 years older and weighed over 300 pounds. It's not an age or weight fetish. Those were just my girlfriends, and the women I've been with sexually. That's 8 total ex-girlfriends, none of whom were younger than I am, and they're now with older men than themselves in 2016. I've never dated a younger woman in my life, but I've been up to it and sought it out for 4.5 years now. Okay, so he always talks about his 8 ex-girlfriends, but actually only one of them is someone I'd say he was dating, and that's Suzanne. The others include things like a relationship he supposedly had in 6th grade, and a woman he sat with at a bonfire once. Of course, he doesn't know where any of them are now, or who they're dating, but he will definitely just make up facts as usual. There's maybe just a lot to explain all at once. Notwithstanding, I've lost 170 pounds since 2007. I'm an atheist. I've given away over $2,000 to feed the poor, with an EBT card since 2011. It's legal. You can't look into my personal business without my permission, without paying a $50,000 fee. It's a felony to look into my medical or financial business without my say-so. I have bipolar. I don't take meds. People in the field who work with me aren't recommending meds, and have not done so in almost a decade of not taking antipsychotic medication. It's none of your business. I happen to be from Washington State as well, and I can definitely confirm that it's not legal to use your EBT card to feed the homeless. I don't think they should take away his card or anything, but they could, so it's pretty stupid that he's basically been shouting this from the rooftops. This is getting a little long, so let's read a post from the time period and then call it a day. Indian food in Spokane, Washington doesn't get enough love as you play with every other penis but mine for 5 years. Lucas Werner is going to be on Dr. Phil. Conversationrage. Men over 35 make women healthier as sex partners and give their offspring stronger DNA based upon current telomerase research being carried out on telomere attrition and telomerase overabundance by companies like Telomerage. As far as I can tell, that isn't a company. I know people don't like Dr. Phil anymore, but I'd definitely like to see his reaction to Lucas Werner. Or anyone's, really. But that's about all the time I have for you today. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you liked the video, please give it a like. If you have something to say about our good friend Lucas or about my content, make sure you let me hear it in the comments. Especially if you have knowledge about biology. I don't know that much about it, so I'd like to hear more about how wrong he is. If you're new here, consider subscribing for more of the same. I might continue this series. He's really repetitive, but there is a lot more of this, all trying to convince millennials to date him. Because he hadn't moved on to Gen Z yet at this point. Big thanks also to my generous patrons who support me more directly over on Patreon. I'll be shouting them out by name very soon here. Well, have a great day, everyone, And how much money does it take to be accepted by your bourgeoisie, democratic socialist circle, ladies?